right, we're gonna move on to our next topic.
Yep.
I believe Rocco.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
heartthrob. You're up.
I'm going to start this one off. I'm kind of thinking here about would you, if ever, travel around the solar system and beyond? So there's been the Mars 1 mission, which a lot of people are, all stating that's just not going to happen, which I agree with. There's a lot of different research out there. It's like, that can't happen right now. We don't have the money to be able to do it. We don't have the technology to be able to do it. Okay. Let's just say hypothetically that we did have the technology and the money and the resources to be able to create ourselves and colonize on Mars and then beyond. Would you guys do it?
I'm kind of torn about this, man, honestly. I know I've said in the past, I would never go into space. But I would think watching all the the movies and stuff like that, if we ever got to that point, I think I would love to do that just for an adventure. I don't know, maybe it's the whole 7 years from now thing. I'm a different person now. Maybe I just hit that 7-year mark.
Yeah.
But oh my god, dude, I would absolutely love to do that. Space terrifies the shit out of me, but
does
honestly,
the ocean terrify you? Because I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yes, the ocean.
Because it's just a bunch of nothing. Yeah.
Not knowing what's underneath me freaks me the fuck out.
It's the vastness.
You want to go tubing? I'm like, I want to go tubing, but I want to fall off.
Yeah. Because yes, dude, the unknowing, that vastness that Rocco was just saying, freaks me the fuck out too.
Yeah,
and I love the ocean, but if I'm in the middle of the ocean in a boat by myself, I kind of it's almost the opposite of being in an elevator and being claustrophobic.
Yeah.
When I'm in a place where it's just too much, I'm like.
Imagine if you're all by yourself, just
in
waiting
space.
in the ocean. No, just waiting in the ocean though.
All the thoughts of what could possibly come and get me.
Who's that?
Oh my god. Okay, in the middle of the ocean at night.
Oh, I would love that though. See, I would love that. I'd be
in the water, just waiting around in the water,
dude.
Well, if I'm on a raft, I'm okay. If I am just waiting in the water, I'm probably gonna be a little freaked out, to be honest.
If you're on a raft, you're
shark's gonna. If I was on a raft, I'd be fine. But if I was floating in the water,
dude, in a raft. Oh my god.
In a raft, I would feel like, okay,
chills.
well, my legs aren't in the water. They're not just easily accessible for a shark to just snag me under, and I'm dead.
Dude, but what if a wave comes and knocks you over? Like a whale comes, or
I'd rather try to ride a wave than try to battle a shark.
Dude, have everything planned out.
Yeah, I'm freaking out.
Okay, okay, that's a good point though. Okay, sitting out there in the ocean. Okay, you got to also think about. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Gravity.
Yes.
Okay, that's the same idea, right? That silentness, emptiness, vastness of space, and there's nothing you can do if you get stuck out there.
Yeah, man.
So that is a bit
No one's
scary.
there to help you.
Because that's pretty much everything out there.
Yeah. 911, I guess. But.
It's the same situation as floating in the ocean, except for there's no sharks that can come get you. You just probably gonna either suffocate or starve or just die if you're floating out in space.
But space, I'm gonna be in. We're talking about going to Mars or a planet. Colonization. I'm gonna be in a giant spaceship.
Yeah.
That probably has a theater, food stuff, my friends. Games.
Perhaps.
I'm gonna be on there for a while.
Okay, so here, let's change this up real quick. Would you be the ones to kind of go out there and help pioneer it?
No, you can't change shit. I change shit.
Oh yeah, honestly, you can change rules.
Would you guys want to be the pioneers, or would you guys want to be the second, third pioneers?
I'd be the third, maybe fourth. I wouldn't be the first motherfucker to go. That's for sure.
Yeah, F that. If these assholes who are updating to Windows 10 and losing all of their information, buying consoles and computers the day it comes out and it's just breaking and red ringing. There's no way I'm going on the first. There's gonna be so
exactly.
many
Mars 1? No, Mars 1500.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly. I'm going the iPhone S. That's my jam.
It's like my favorite comedian Bill Burr said was I saw this guy and he got hair plugs and everything like that. And he's like, oh, I wish I would have did this 20 years ago. And he goes, no, you don't.
Yeah.
He's like, because they look like little ant things stuck in your head, like someone was just going. He's like
It's
that. It was
it's like the LASIK, man. When they were like, you first get it, it's like people were just going back to having bad vision like real fast. And nowadays it's good, you know, like it'll last the rest of your life. So here's one thing too, okay? So they're looking to try to do like terraforming the planet. And for those that don't know what terraforming is, it's to try to like recreate our natural like living environment on their planet, on Mars. So Mars being a nice desert, they're trying to grow some trees and some oxygen, you know, and carbon dioxide plants, kind of shit that's we're gonna be able to breathe. So they were talking about doing this here on Mars 1. They're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna start greenhouses, do this and that, yada yada. What do you guys think about that idea about terraforming?
Oh, it's freaking amazing.
Yes,
It's absolutely amazing.
do you think it's possible right now?
Yes.
Okay. How would you be able to accomplish that? I mean, to really genuinely terraform a planet, you're gonna need
That's a good
to have some large amount of space being enclosed from the outside environment for a big amount of time till it's capable of sustaining itself. So,
Well, that's actually what just made me hesitant. Is there's a
I'm
reason
thinking-
why Mars doesn't have any.
That's what I'm
life.
saying. Yeah, because there's no atmosphere, right?
Yeah. So
Got
I mean,
it.
can you truly terraform?
so
a
this
planet
is
that
something that's
doesn't-
like a sci-fi thought out there, right? I think with the technology that we have in front of us today, which I don't know, honestly, I'm a skeptic to that's our forefront of technology. I mean, that's kind of just shows from the past that we always get things late, you know? I would say then what we see today, I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I
is
would.
there something underneath secret budget projects that, I mean, who knows? We can like, you know, come up with
I mean-
conspiracy theories or hypotheses of those all day long. We don't know. But there's got to be some type of technology that's capable of blocking out the atmosphere, whether that be like some physical fucking glass shit or
Yeah, that's what I'm
some type
saying.
of force field generating device
see,
that we
like,
have
a
no clue of yet
dome.
that affects
Yeah.
like the electromagnetic, you know,
Yeah.
area around us that says, okay, we block that out from us, and now we can create atmosphere in here, you know?
Or I guess there is a possibility that the reason why it's desolate is because of a catastrophe, right? There could have been a comet that hit it,
Right.
blocked out the sun, trees died, and then
I
it's
mean,
just
they're-
dominoes.
They're
and
showing
never
a
had
lot of
chance to
signs
come
of
back
like there was water at some point. There had to have been water.
Yeah.
There's ravines of where it, you know, that's like canyons of what we would have seen for our rivers and stuff. So at some point there was life. And I mean, look, if we look at, you know, science is its timeline. There's plenty of time for all that to have occurred, you know, and to have been long gone and by our time for existing here on this planet, you know. So
It's cool.
I don't know. I think that's a possibility. Would you guys go somewhere else besides Mars, outside the solar system, though?
I would want to. I think I would want to do that. Like go exploring, basically.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
definitely want to do that. Go
I
exploring.
mean,
Yeah, that'd be
let's
cool.
say that we have the technology to be able to do that kind of stuff. You know, it's not outside of our means. We can get from planet to planet within a reasonable amount of time. It doesn't take 1,000 years to do it.
Yeah, man. That'd be cool.
You guys would be down for the ride?
Yeah, man, I think that's why Interstellar was so interesting to me and
Yeah.
entertaining. Although, I mean, like, okay, so realistically, probably not. I'm gonna have a family. I have a family, a very small family, but it's gonna grow. Like, probably not happen. Maybe in retirement, that's a thing where we spend our money and just travel, right? But
or go back.
yeah,
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that's a
but-
thought too that plays into that whole getting out there, right? Because that one kind of gets me. I've got kids, like
yeah,
shit. Like if I could take the kids with me and it was like a safe thing to kind of go and do, like
Yeah.
I mean, safe to some extent. You know, going down on a car ride is just probably going to be just as dangerous as flying out in space.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think if I could take them with me, I'd probably be like, let's go do this thing. This is like fucking
Yeah.
like we can go explore the universe like together, not just sit on one planet. And although there's so much to do on one planet, that would take a lifetime in itself to do. You know?
There-
Yeah. I didn't know
okay.
if I moved out of camera, sir.
No, you're good. The devil's advocate in me says that I don't think I would want to pioneer because you look at like there's I don't really who do you remember? I don't know. Like, so
Not
what's your
family
goal, right? Like,
pioneers.
yeah, like what's your goal out of this? And like for me, my goal if I were to go to a new planet would be like to like get a chunk of it named after me or some type of way to like because I feel like there's
then
this
you would have to
inherent
be a
feeling-
pioneer.
Kind of, but
Yeah.
like but not the first ones, because like who remembers
You'd have
any
to
individual from the first ones, right? Like I would want to go make my stake and claim like my little country or something like that, and Claytonus or something. I don't know. and like there you are, and like
well, that's
I
what
don't
happened
know.
in America, right? So the pioneers were the first ones to get out here, and they just started running out there and were like, "This is my land for the next 100,000 miles." Yeah, I mean, not miles, but
yeah.
acres. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is all mine. Like it was the same thing. It's like the first person to get there to put their stake in the ground is the ones that get it. So you would have to be the pioneer if you wanted to try to own some piece of that planet.
That's true.
At any extent. But if you have the family environment's not really like the pioneer environment, except for look at a lot of the first Americans that came out here. They were taking their whole family and saying, "Let's go to fucking California."
Yeah, and they were
like,
dying of dysentery.
That's the issue. You can do it. I just don't know if it's the best option.
Oregon Trail all over again,
man.
And that's what they're afraid of. Like as far as the Mars missions, is that the exposure, the long exposure to solar flares, like solar radiation
and stuff like that's the other thing you gotta worry about. So you get on a new planet, great and gravy, but like we don't know anything about it. Are you gonna get swarmed by waves of radiation that by the time you get back on your ship you're dying 6 months later because you're like, holy shit, I didn't even know what that was what's gonna happen there.
Or you have superpowers.
Or you have superpowers.
No, yeah, because that's a serious concern. Yeah, see, I just wouldn't put my family in that jeopardy. I'd have to.
So
I don't know.
We've talked about this one too before. We talked about aliens in a few weeks back, and we've all kind of said that we kind of agree that there's got to be some other type of life form out there. Now, if science's timeline is correct, and we've got 14 point something billion years of existence, and from our written history, we've only got maybe a handful of 5,000.
Yeah.
So let's go 14 billion, 5,000 kind of deal comparison. There's got to be other life forms out there traveling space doing exactly what we're talking about. Now imagine running into these guys. What did you do? Like stop at the local 7-Eleven, kind of like quick stop, got to fill up real fast, and then you're meeting like
that would be really cool. See, okay, so that intrigues me more because that I relate more to like going to Europe and not meeting those or being in those cultures or like having those like crisscross cultures. Yeah. So if I've lived in, let's say I'm living in a time where we've already terraformed Mars and in fact we've moved on to other planets that aren't necessarily ours, they just have cultures and like whatever, like, oh god, yeah, that's a road trip.
It's like a universal like cultural like planet, that's
And I'm like, you're right. Like my spaceship and family, I'm like, all right, we need some fuel. We need some rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Right, I'll hop on the next 7-Eleven on planet Zerpzop.
Exactly.
I swing in there and I see all these different aliens. I'm like, oh shit, look at that. Like,
yeah.
It'd be cool.
So going into conspiracy stuff, like there's a bunch of different people that say there's like, oh, there's races out there, yada, 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 right? And I don't doubt that there's probably multiple different stuff out there. Do these people have credibility? I don't know. But they're like, oh, there's 40 different kind that are involved with us. Oh, there's 150 kind of like known to the humanity, yada, yada, yada. How cool would that be, realistically, to be going out there and seeing other life forms that have evolved over their span of their time on their planet that might be, the reptilians, for example, right? Reptilians that, just lizards like we had originally started and formed from, but just went all the way through to a humanoid form. Or like something else that's like a gas planet and it's like a gas body kind of deal. And you're like,
that's so cool.
And it's like, this is a world cultural, like culture, a universal, not a world, but a universal culture planet. Like how cool would it be to interact with, even 100 different kind of, 5, even 5 different.
Even 5, yeah. Because you're like, oh, shit, like that stuff is so interesting.
One, I'll take it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think they'd all look like us basically because we're carbon-based life forms, and the universe is abundant in carbon. Mainly anything.
But what Rocco was saying is that our evolution had very, very important milestones in it that we had made, if for whatever reason there was different decisions made or different things that happened, we could have made be lizard kind of skins.
What do you mean, like silicone based, like just rock?
No, probably still. Well, I mean, lizards are carbon based, right?
And here's the other thing we don't know.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, we could be lizard people, not maybe like mammals.
And outside of our galaxy ourselves, like we would have to see, we don't know, like we don't even know what any other life out there exists. The only life that we know of is right now, it's like it has to involve water. And we're finding out, okay, that's not true. Like, okay, it doesn't have to. So that's opening up the idea of life out there in the world. Or, I mean, sorry, I keep saying the world, but the universe. That's a better way to say it. That's why I think this thing is cool. This idea is so cool because right now we have companies that are it's expensive but are willing to take you, to the upper part of the atmosphere where you'll experience zero gravity and start to verge your way into kind of space. We're gonna start to see this be a real thing, where it's gonna be. I would totally do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Without a doubt. First off, the second part is that eventually, 50 years, down the road, or even like we were talking 20 years down the road, this might be something that is just a very affordable thing to do, and we get to get out there to start to semi-experience the footsteps of getting out into space. And if not, like there might be something else out there that they're like, guys, by the way, we have a bigger space station now that you can go to, but it costs you $1 million for that, and it costs you $100,000 to go fly around in the atmosphere or something.
Yeah. It'd be so cool.
I know, huh?
How disappointed would you guys be if like it really was just people that look like us?
I wouldn't.
You go to that 7-Eleven, you're like, oh, cool, aliens, and it's like they just look like us. Like,
it comes back to change. It comes back to change. People are afraid of change.
I would, and I would.
So you would be happy with that because you don't want change?
Why not?
I'm just saying, I'd be a little pretty damn disappointed.
I'd be a little disappointed. I would be.
Yeah, man.
There's
lizard people.
There's a lot of.
How much more disappointed would you be if they weren't intelligent?
They weren't.
If they were just dumb versions of us walking like dogs.
I'd be extremely disappointed.
Exactly. You'd be like, oh, come on, man. I wish you were smarter.
I'd be like, first, you have to have some ounce of intelligence somewhere. At least
like
one
sex
aspect.
And money. We should hang out.
You should hang out. No, so for real though, there's a lot of people that comes to the alien community that says that they do look like us. There's a lot of races that do actually genuinely look like us, although they're kind of beyond us. I guess they would say that they come off like they have superpowers in aspects of like telepathy,
Well, I think that would come down to evolution though, because they're saying that
that's kind of what I would think.
Over the years, our eyes have been getting wider and and bigger because we're focusing more on technology and screening and stuff like that.
I think your body's way of evolving to adapt to what's the sense that you use the most, right? And for us, one of the senses we use the most is our sense of sight right now, big time. I don't know. I think evolution too. I think eventually it's going to work its way into that. We have research done on children that can bend spoons with their minds and stuff. Not just children, adults too as well.
I want to see that too.
And that stuff is just showing not just that, but the quantum physics world that states that we can't. Even double-blind experiments get affected by our consciousness on our thoughts and predictions of our outcomes. So it's it shows that our consciousness or mind has effect on physical reality, which is kind of mind-blowing if we take that into consideration. But let's think a million years down the road, we might be able to control that with more understanding of how it works through science, and then starting to adapt ourselves to develop those abilities. That might be something. It might be the next step of evolution is not a physical one, but more of a mental one. Yeah. And it's just using those abilities that have been untapped, which supposedly, alien life forms that have gone beyond us that look just like us have. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Think about going out there into a community like that, where you're just they're they're sending you messages and you're like, what's going on? Something's I'm seeing shit, like a picture, like a movie.
What if Mars was actually where we developed, and those people actually left and dropped sprinkles of their DNA and stuff and terraformed Earth and just was like, I hope that works.
There's some actually really freaking interesting stories about stuff like that.
Movies like that too.
Yeah. That 2 million years ago, they had to leave the world because the atmosphere was just not working out right, and I guess droplings of shit just.
And they didn't have the time to stay and terraform Earth, so just look, we'll leave some stuff behind because we
need
to keep going.
An alien race is really just us, just further down the road that just didn't do it, and they let us become whatever it is we did. What if it's just a big genetic test? They're like, hey, let's take what's the most the most advanced Homo erectus form we can and genetically manipulate it a little bit with us, and then take off and see in a few million years what happens.
Yeah, man.
Why not? It's not going to affect us. They're on their planet. They're never going to get off that shit.
All those answers and more if we could ever just get to Mars.
Exactly.
And get going.
Exactly.
That's awesome.